Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Zach with my co-host here, Anthony Rivardo. Today we got a special guest on the line, Alim McNeill, the Dream, they call him. You know how it is. Of course, he's got his music going. He's going to be in the NFL soon, coming through the draft. Really amazing prospect. We've seen a lot of your film and just really intrigued by you as a player and a person. And Anthony, man, he called you out a couple months ago, and he was like, "This guy Alim, you got to keep an eye on him." And since he said your name, you've been shooting up draft stocks. The board and everything. I've seen you go in the second round now, and it's pretty awesome to see your name all the way up there. Anthony spotted you so long ago. It's just incredible, man. So how you doing today? And I'm excited to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm doing good today. I appreciate y'all for giving me the opportunity to talk with you guys today, but I'm doing good, really good.
Awesome, man. I'm really excited to get to know you. And Anthony, I'll let you get started. Just have your say in piece.
Yeah, man, this is an interview I'm really excited for. As Alex mentioned, I found you as a prospect doing some research like about a month ago, and I probably mentioned you like 12 podcast episodes in a row. We were just talking about like the off season, and I just couldn't stop talking about Alim McNeill as a prospect out of NC State. So super excited to have you on. I know I told you that when I messaged you. I've been hyping you up on the podcast. So you're kind of a fan favorite of the show. So everybody's really excited to finally get to hear from you. So definitely excited to speak, and thank you so much for coming on.
Definitely. Thank you. Anytime.
Absolutely, man. So, tell us about your music. I got some little insight into what you're producing. It sounds super professional. You're telling us before the podcast, you have your software and you're doing it yourself. You're mixing these sounds and everything together on your own. And, you're finding time to become an elite football player off the field, and learning how to be a musician. So that's really amazing to be able to do two different things like that at once at a high level. Just give us some insight into like how you're doing that, the process, and how you're finding time to do both.
Yeah. So first and foremost, football is obviously first. That's the main priority. Music, that's something I do whenever I have time to do it, and it's just like instead of I play video games, but not as much. I find myself doing music more than anything now, and so that's kind of like I use it kind of as like an escape, I guess you could say. It's just like a fun hobby that I picked up on at a young age. My dad used to DJ when he was around my age. And then he had us, and he would make beats and stuff in the house. And I used to just watch him do it. He had an old software back then. It's called Reason. And I don't think they use that no more. But that's who I picked it up from. And ever since then, I kind of just went with it. Started making songs around freshman year here. They weren't very good. They weren't produced very good. And then as the time went, it sounded more professional. And that's when I started uploading my music to Apple Music and stuff, Spotify, SoundCloud, and whatnot. But it's just something that I do when I have time to do it, and when I'm feeling like an idea or like when I'm feeling creative, I just go jot down lyrics or whatever I'm feeling at the time. I jot it down. So it kind of takes like a couple of days, maybe a week or two to write a song, depending on what type of mood and what type of song I want it to be. But it's just something I do when I have time. It's a really fun hobby though.
That's awesome. Do you see it as a long-term thing? Like after football, you want to be in music and kind of building stuff down the road?
After football is done with, I see myself doing something with music, whether it's opening a studio or producing or something like that. But as of right now, it's just like a fun hobby. Football is the priority right now. I'm just so locked in with that. I dropped my EP and I haven't made a song since because I've just been locked in. But I see myself doing something with music.
That's awesome, man. So, when we talk about music, I know music plays such a big part in a lot of people's lives in terms of just emotionally and, preparation wise. They say that it really does help people, just in everyday life. How do you use music to fuel yourself in football, like before games, listening to specific songs, your style, and like how does it make you a better person day in and day out?
Yeah, because it's my song, because I listen to my music before the games. As long as other songs too and whatnot. But when it's my music, because my message is in the song, so I'm really just re-listening to what I'm trying to do. My music is more like telling a story. And a lot of my songs I talk about what I'm trying to do in my life, how I'm going to do that, why I'm in the position I am now, and stuff like that. And it just gives me reminders. And before the game, it just gets me hyped up, ready to go, just amped up, really. And music plays a big part of my life. It gets my day going. I hop in the car. First thing you do is turn on some music. That determines my day. And so that's how I really started. That's why I started making songs with meaningful messages and whatnot, and songs that were hype and stuff like that. Because I want to have songs for different moods. And it plays a big role in my life, definitely.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's really awesome to hear that, you're connected to music and using that to fuel your success on the football field as well. Because everybody has to have those catalysts, those passions behind you, and things that drive you behind the scene. Like, what do you think is your biggest driving force when it comes to football? And like, what makes you want to be great at the NFL level? What is that motivation, that chip on your shoulder?
Really, myself. I work because my motivation is me. It's crazy, it kind of sounds, because I know what I want and I know how I want to live and how I want to be seen and perceived, and that's up to me. I wake up every day knowing that if I want to go get this, if I want to have this, I have to go do it. So it's really me is my motivation. I know I have to get up. I'm grateful to be alive when I wake up. I get to go work out today and stuff like that. So my motivation is me.
Yeah, man, you were blessed with the genetics. I can't say the same to be a football player. It's pretty awesome that you have that the motivation. You know what you want to do in life, and that's one of the most important things. You have to know that no one's going to give it to you. You got to go out and earn it every single day.
Exactly.
So I commend you for that. That's a very mature thing to know, especially just going into the NFL before even being in the NFL, before everything's going to happen with the draft and stuff. It's pretty impressive. So Anthony, I'll let you get into some football questions. I know you have a lot to ask.
Yeah, I mean, Alex just mentioned that you're blessed with the genetics, right? You played at around 340 pounds, I believe, at NC State.
Yeah, for my last season, yeah.
Right. So are you expecting to continue playing at 340, or what's your designated playing weight once you get to the league?
Yeah, so I'm 319 right now.
Okay.
But I was 340 or 339, that range, because I was solely playing the zero. I wasn't doing much moving around. I was having to hold gaps, hold either A gap on doubles and triple teams. And so that's why I added a little bit of weight to myself during the off season. And nothing, I've never had sloppy weight. None of it was sloppy. It was muscle bound. But my goal playing weight is probably what I'm at now, probably like 319, 320. Really no higher than 325. Just because the league is just a little bit different. I'll be doing a lot more moving than in college because I won't be solely in the zero. So.
Right. And you mentioned zero tech. What alignment do you project that you'll play in the NFL? What do you want to play? Where on the defensive line are you most comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable in all the positions on the D-line, whether it's a 0, 1, a 2-eye, 3, 4-eye, whatever it is. I'm really comfortable playing either one. I project myself seeing them playing in the shade or in the 3-tech, just because of my athleticism and being able to get off the ball, move, pass rush, and play the run and hold gaps. I see myself as either a 1 or a 3-tech.
Right. And so let's talk about that athleticism. I've seen a video of you on Twitter hitting 18 miles per hour on a treadmill, which was just insane. I know that you have history playing running back in high school and even linebacker. How does that play into, your defensive tackle position in college?
Yeah, 100%. Because my ability to use my feet, I've always worked on my feet my whole life, and I've had pretty quick feet throughout my tenure of playing football. So it helps me tremendously. When I'm getting off the ball, I'm about to hit a pass rush move. It's almost like playing receiver. That's kind of how I see it. The way you use your feet, like Aaron Donald, for example, he gets off the ball and he's shaking bait. He's hitting moves. That's just like what a receiver does to get by his DB. So I say the use of me playing linebacker and running back has helped my feet tremendously, and has translated over to playing D-line.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Aaron Donald. Is that a player that you like to model your game after, or are there other players that you draw, inspiration from?
Yeah, I like to model my game after Fletcher Cox. That's really who I like watching. I try to do everything he does. And actually Dexter too, and BJ. I watch a lot of their film, a ton of their film. But Aaron Donald, I watch him a lot for like finesse moves. He's great in the run, of course. But I like watching his finesse moves. But Fletcher Cox is who I try to emulate everything after.
Yeah, we know a lot about Fletcher Cox since, we cover the Giants, so we go up against Philadelphia twice a year. Mm-hmm. And you just mentioned Dexter and BJ Hill. That was another question that I had for you, whether you watch film on them, you answered that. But in terms of those 3 guys, or 4 guys really, that the Giants have up front, Dexter, BJ, Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, who do you model your game after the most there? Like, do you have a playing style that you think is more similar to one player than another?
I say my playing style is, I don't know. I really say BJ and Dexter's playing styles really aren't that like far apart, and I feel like my play style is a little bit different. I feel like I can use more finesse. They don't really they finesse, but not like it's like shake and bake off the line type finesse. They have really great hands and really great feet, but I like to hit like almost like crossover moves on guards and stuff like that. So I say they're about the same, and I try to emulate both of them, like I said. And they're both really great players to watch and learn from. So.
Yeah, totally. And when you talk about those finesse moves, is that really where you lean more towards in your pass rushing? You like to be more finesse than power?
It depends on the down and distance. If I got like a long third down, long second down, they're passing the ball, he's in gun. Oh yeah, I'm definitely hitting finesse moves, 100%. But we got a little like 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 or shorter. I'm hitting power, speed of power for sure. Long arm to snatch, long arm to club arm over, just bull snatch or just regular bull rush.
And is that like your go-to? Do you have like a go-to pass rush move on any given down?
I really don't. I guess on like a speed down or speed rush, I'll hit like it's almost, I don't know what you would call it. It's just a club arm over. It's Aaron Donald's move pretty much. That's the one that he hits all the time. I like hitting that. But in the pull snatch, those are my two go-tos for power and speed. But it's really just dependent on the set and who I'm going against.
Right. When we talk about speed, I mentioned that that treadmill video where you hit 18 miles per hour. And of course, you have a big pro day coming up. I believe that's March 30th, right?
Yes.
All right. So I expect you're going to run the 40-yard dash. What do you expect to run in the 40?
I expect to run like at least like 4.86 to 4.83 range, in that range. Okay. I want to hit like the 4.79 range. So that's what I'm working for right now. Right. But between like the 4.83, 4.86 range is what I expect to hit.
All right. Definitely incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you sound like you talk like you're an edge rusher, with all these pass rush moves and stuff. And you were playing nose tackle last year. And we saw some of the film, and you burst through the line so efficiently in those A gaps. You really dominate. But I also love how you're always looking over, against the run specifically, you're always looking over the offensive lineman's shoulder, like just monitoring what's happening in the backfield. Do you think, like, as a nose tackle, like what part of the game is mental for you, and just knowing and being aware and the vision? Do you think, like, are you studying film regularly? Obviously, I imagine you are. But how important is that mental aspect to being really a great defensive lineman at the next level?
Yeah, to me, like, if you don't have that part, unless you're just like an absolute freak on the field, it's kind of hard to be a good D lineman. Because you have to think as D lineman, people think like in the trenches you really don't have to do much thinking. You just block, or you just get off of blocks and stuff. And there's a ton of thinking that goes on down there, whether you're reading the block or you're reading the tendencies of the guard. You're looking at the calls that he's making. Is he giving a slide right or a slide left? You're looking at the backfield set. Is he level 0, 1, or 2? Is he offset? Is he behind the quarterback? And stuff like that. There's a lot of thinking that goes on at D-line. And my ability to use my mind like that, I take pride in, and I work on that stuff a lot. But thinking is a lot of the mental aspect of the game is almost the entire game, really. You have to have the mental part before the play starts to be able to do your job correctly when the play begins. So I think the mental aspect is huge.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal answer.
Yeah, that mental aspect is huge. Do you think that kind of is influenced by your history playing linebacker in high school?
I definitely think that, and it's just a history of the coaches I've had too. I've been blessed to have really great coaches throughout my tenure playing football. But yeah, it definitely came from me playing linebacker and stuff, because that's what I did at linebacker. I was reading the pulling guards. I was looking at the receiver sets and the backfield sets, so that I just carried that on with me when I came to college to play D-line.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Giants have coordinator Patrick Graham, who, revitalized that defense last year. He loves to have multiple players. And, as I said before, you talk like you're an edge rusher. You're able to play 0 tech and then 3. And like, that's what really intrigues me. Are you okay with making the transition to another position at the next level and really rotating around and just trying to find your fit? Because I imagine you're really capable of doing multiple things. It's not just you're a nose tackle. You can expose those A gaps very efficiently, but also in the 3 tech be like a straight up pass rusher too, like a Leonard Williams or even BJ Hill. Do you see yourself making a transition to that kind of style?
Yeah, 100%. Wherever they need me at is where I'm going to go play. No question asked. I feel like I'm able to play along the D line. Like that's what I think in my head. So wherever they need me to be at, whether it's the 0, the shade, the 3, the 2-eye, 4-eye, 5, wherever they need me, I'm playing. So,
and maybe for anybody listening to this or watching this that doesn't really know Alim McNeill as a player, if you had to give them one game film to go watch, break down, and get to know you as a player, do you have a specific game in mind that you would recommend?
All of them, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's not to be like big headed or nothing. I didn't want that to come across that way. But like, I feel like if you watch all of my games, you'll see like what type of player I am. And I like really mean that. I didn't want to come across like big headed, but like,
no, yeah. But like, if there's one standout performance that you had,
one specifically,
maybe the one with the pick 6, because that was a pretty impressive play.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good game, but I choose like Virginia Tech or Miami. Those 2 games for me were like really good games. So yeah, Virginia Tech and Miami. But the pick 6 was cool. That was a good game, but it was kind of like a boring game almost. So I'd say Virginia Tech or Miami.
Yeah, sometimes it's the hidden production though. Sometimes the NFL level, it's the soaking above double teams. It's those things you don't really get on the stat sheet that really make the game. Allows your teammates to do better. And how important do you think that is? Just being kind of in the background, but playing such an influential role and just soaking up double teams, whatever you got to do, even if the other guys are getting the numbers.
Yeah, it might sound crazy, but that's what I like about like what my role was last year. It wasn't too much recognition. You get the recognition from your peers and your coaches though, because they know what you're doing. Fans and stuff might not know, and obviously like the scouts when not watching, they know. But that's what I liked about my job. I perfected my craft to the best of my ability. And when I did my job, it allowed my guys, like the linebackers and whoever was blitzing, the ends, stunting to make plays when I was doing my job the right way. And that's what I really like about it, because I'm a team-oriented guy. So if I'm doing my job the right way, he's doing his job beside me the right way, and he's doing it the right way, and we're winning ball games, we're playing cohesive, decent defense, that's what I really like about it. So my job, I don't care about all the accolades and all that different stuff. If I just do my job the right way, and I know that I'm doing it the right way, and my coach is pleased with what I'm doing, that's all I really care about.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think your biggest weakness is right now? Something you need to improve at the next level? I know your strengths, but I've seen them. But just something that like I want to improve at this is what I'm going to be focusing on leading up to the draft and leading up to, when I am eventually a rookie next season.
Yeah, and not to be cliche, but everything. That's what I tell myself. I work on everything, get 1% better at everything today. Things I've been working on, more of a array of pass rush moves, just adding different moves to myself. My range of motion, just increasing like flexibility and whatnot. Cognition work, sharpening my mind. Strength, obviously, speed, quickness. I'm on the agiles and stuff every day. Just everything, really. I just work on everything every day. Every time I go work out, like today, I worked on everything. I got my workout in, did strength training, did speed training right after. I have cognition stuff later. I'm going to watch film later. So I'm trying to get better at everything.
Is there any like specific things you do for cognition and like flexibility? And some people do yoga to improve flexibility or whatnot. And, just cognition based, like things that you might do to be able to recognize plays better. Anything specific or special that you kind of do to help you give you that edge?
So as far as like flexibility and stuff, I'm not really exactly doing yoga. I'm just kind of just stretching. I take like a band and to give me a little bit of a harder stretch. And as far as like cognition, we were, when I was in LA doing like what would have been for the combine, doing my training, we used to do it was on an iPad, it was an app. It's like this reaction time thing. But as far as like cognition here, I'm just watching film, and the way I do it, I just have the play or whatever, or the play up there, and it'll be paused, and I'm trying to like guess what block I'm getting based off the backfield sets and based off what the strength and stuff is. So it's a little bit different, but it's just like it helped me.
Yeah, and in terms of that training process, preparing for the NFL and NFL draft, right? How has that been for you? I know it's a little crazy, kind of different this year, and last year it was as well with COVID-19 going on. So how exactly has that affected your training process, and what exactly have you been doing to prepare?
Yeah, it didn't really affect me. I got all my 8 weeks in. It was just, and I was out in Los Angeles. It was just, LA was just kind of closed and whatnot. But It didn't affect my process for training. It was actually really good. I went out there. My first day out there, I was 340, 341. And then I left at 319, and I lost 8% body fat. So it was really good. The 8 weeks was great to me. Started eating a lot better, sleeping better. And now I'm back in Raleigh. I've been here for about a week and a couple of days. And I'm just loving everything about it. I'm maintaining my training and stuff right now to stay ready for the pro day March 30th. And I don't really want to drop my weight anymore. I kind of want to stay where I'm at. I think this is a good weight for me. But the training went great. It was a great 8 weeks for me.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy to hear, you're getting ready for the draft, getting ready for everything. And I know it's kind of unique situation. We're all kind of locked indoors, not doing much, but we're slowly starting to open back up, man. We're getting there slowly but surely. Hopefully the vaccines and everything will come around soon. But I hope you and the family are doing well, of course. That's the first and foremost thing. You guys are doing well, and that's more important than football. We've talked to a bunch of people that opted out of the season because of it. You decided, I'm going to play through it. I'm going to do what has to be done. And I commend you for putting that effort when a lot of people were afraid of everything. You stepped up and did even better. So great job on that, man. Really appreciate all the time that you've given us. Andy, do you have any other questions for him?
I do. I have one more question. It's a little more fun, right? So let's say you're in the NFL and your team's offense is on the field. They're at the goal line. It's like 3rd and 1, and they need to pound it in. And let's say the coach goes over the sideline. He calls a specific play made for you, calls it dream. Let's say dream. We're going to run the dream. You ready to go out there like you're William the Fridge Perry, take that handoff, go back to running back roots and pound it in from the 1-yard line?
Yeah, 100%. If they need to be to pound it in from the 50-yard line, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, 100%. I'll go in there and get it right. I'm a scorer. Every time I touch the ball, I score. So, yeah, I'm definitely.
That's what we love to hear. That's exciting. Yeah, definitely, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate the time, Alim. Just a phenomenal guy you are, it seems, and I'm really excited to hear more of your music. When do we expect to hear some more music from you, bro?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna record something this weekend. If I finish it, I'll send it to you guys.
Absolutely. I want to hear, and I hope to keep in touch with you, throughout this process, get to know you a little bit. And of course, if we can do anything for you, happy to do so. I really appreciate the time. And really, really great luck in the combine and everything coming up. I know it's tough with everything in COVID and training, but I think you're up to the task. I'm really excited to see you make that jump and hopefully come to the Giants.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'd love to be a Giant. That'd be a huge honor.
Absolutely. We would love it too,
man.
Thank
you so much for coming on, Liam. Best of luck.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too, man.
You too.
TVSO.